Ham karam balam tapam, kamam krodam sha samshirata, mam atma paradeshu, pradvishanto vyasuyaka. Given over to self-conceit, force and pride, also to lust and anger, these malicious people despise me, dwelling in the bodies of themselves and others. These demonic people have given themselves over to self-conceit, force and pride, and also to lust and anger. The word abhyasuyaka is used meaning that they criticize others. Such demonic people despise God, dwelling in the bodies of themselves and others. Such Sri Krishna speaks so clearly that these people who have given themselves over to self-conceit, force and pride, and also to lust and anger, criticize others, and firstly despise God dwelling in their body, and secondly despise God residing in the body of those they criticize. Sri Krishna says that they despise him. Those who have divine endowments and divine qualities in them give themselves over to God and take the support of the Supreme Soul, whereas people with demonic endowments give themselves over and take the support of self-conceit, force, pride, lust, and anger. You can tell whether a person is of divine qualities or demonic characteristics by seeing who they take the support of and who they give themselves over to. If a person thinks that I am great, then this is the demonic characteristic, and if a person thinks that my God is great, then this is the divine quality. Who is the support? Demonic people give themselves over to self-conceit. Madhusudan Saraswati has said that those who believe themselves to have good qualities, which in reality they do not have, and have a pride of their greatness, these people are self-conceited. This is what God is saying here. When a person does not have the quality in themselves, but they believe themselves to have the quality and they consider themselves to be great, then this is like a beggar who believes that there are diamonds in his pocket and keeps thinking that, what do I need? I do not need to do anything. This beggar just remains a beggar. Self-conceited people do not have this quality and yet consider themselves to have this quality. This is self-conceited. Shankaranandji says that this person thinks that I am from a great family, I am good looking, I know all the scriptures, I am all-knowing and I am great. This is seeking the support of self-conceit. These people also give themselves over to force. Shankaracharya says that this is force with the attitude born from lust and attraction, where one wishes to defeat another and to win over another. This is because strength can also be the mode of sattva goodness. As Sri Krishna will say later in the Gita, Sri Krishna had strength of the mode of sattva goodness, but demonic people have the force of mode of rajas, where they just see how they can press down on others, and that is it. This force is born from lust and has the course of pressing down on others and to defeat others. Keshavji says that this is the power that is used to harm others. Strength on its own is a very good thing, but it depends a lot on who it is with. If a good person has strength, then he will make good use of it, and if a wrong person has strength, then they will make wrong use of it. I have written about pride, lust and anger early in the Gita. Such a person is given over to these things, criticizes others and despises God dwelling in the body of themselves and others. Buddhi karma sakshi bhutamam. I reside in all creatures as the intellect and the witness to all their actions. God resides within us. How? As the intellect has the witness to our actions. In the same way, God resides in others as well. How? As the intellect and has the witness to all their actions. Such a God says that people with demonic characteristics, mam pradavishanta machasanati vartivam pradvesaha. They violate my instructions and do not accept my discipline. Demonic people are like this. What are God's instructions? It is to love everyone, to have feelings towards everyone, and to have good intentions towards everyone. These are the instructions from God. We demonic people, when you hold your hands out of good intentions, then they make efforts to cut those hands. This is demonic attitude. You go to them as a good person, and they throw stones at you. There are many demonic people. Great saints have been harassed so much. We can think of so many events. They hammered nails into Mahavir's ears. Angulimal harassed Buddha. All the way to Narsin Mehta, all great saints have been harassed. This happens. This is what these people are like. What are these what these people do is that they forget to see the God residing within them and the God residing within other people. These people are described as abhyasuyaka, meaning that they criticize others. Shankaracharya has written a very nice definition of abhyasuyaka in his commentary, that they implant faults in the good or qualities of good people. The amount of such people in society today has increased a lot. They criticize people, but they also criticize divine people, and they also criticize good people. There was a great saint by the name of Mahamandaleshwar, who I was speaking to. He was a hermitage in Haridwar. We spoke for an hour, and he said one very nice thing. He asked me whether I knew what the reason of the downfall of the Hindu Dharma was. I told him, Swamiji, there are many reasons. I told him the reasons I thought to be the answer. He knew the answer, and we were speaking. I said that there is sectarianism. People have stayed within the very small limits and no longer have a greater perspective. People are running away from spirituality. People are stuck only in rituals. We do not understand the greatness of our dharma, whereas others do. And dharma has become a leisure activity for us, that we only do it when it's convenient, otherwise we do not do it. The priorities of life have changed, and dharma does not come into our priority lists. All of these are reasons, and all of this is happening. He said that all of this is fine, but told me one thing that was not on my list. I found out about this, and he was so right. He told me that the amount of the attitude of criticizing great saints that there is a Hindu society is not there in any other society. I heard this quote from Mahamandaleshwar Swami, who studied Shankaracharya, and he is so right. If you look at it, then people from other sects and people from other religions do not criticize their great personalities and do not criticize the people who preach their religions as much as Hindu people do. And our people write pages and pages criticizing our saints, saying that saintly speaker says this is right and this is wrong. What right do you have to say this? What qualifications do you have to say this? Just look at whether this person is doing good deeds or not. Is he doing good deeds or not? Of course he can make mistakes, and I'm not trying to say that he cannot make mistakes, and I'm also not teaching you to blindly follow people. Tande tande matire bhina. Each and every person has different thoughts and different interests. And a great saint is ultimately a person. He is also bound by his circumstances, and he also has such karmas. This may be the case, but why should we try to find the bad grains? Keep the perspective about whether because of him 500 people turn on the right path or not, or whether because of him then people in society learn about good things or not. If just this is good, then highlight that. From this we will develop on the path of dharma. But people do not look at this and say that everything else is fine. But do you know that this is what they do? Oh, you are a very clever person that you found out about this. Do we know how much damage we cause to the other person without knowing? Perhaps in the future this person may have gone and listened to good things. From this person may have taken in some good things into his life, and so much development would take place in his life. We despise so much. God uses this exact same word, pradvishanti, to despise. A person criticizes things that he has gone out to improve things so much. Have you yourself taken anybody towards God by holding their hands? Has your life had such an effect that two people have turned on the right path? There is nothing like that. Just with the attitude of passing your time and just for the purpose of massaging your ego, you are criticizing this person. One may perhaps not even have this much intelligence, and yet they are still criticizing the other person. Sri Krishna says that such a person is one with a demonic attitude. This is a person with a wrong attitude. And God says that such people criticize him. And I'm not trying to say that this attitude is just of today. I'm quoting the words of Srimad Adi Shankaracharya, using the inverted commas that 1200 years ago, Srimad Adi Shankaracharya wrote this same thing, that they see faults even in the good qualities of good people. And when Srimad Adi Shankaracharya wrote this, then he must have had such experiences, and that is why he must have wrote that when society becomes such that it criticizes the good qualities of good people, then despising God. Madhusudan Saraswati also said 450 years ago that what happens because of this is that these people implant faults into the good qualities of good people, and because of this, no matter how much a person performs bhakti, their purity does not become possible. Therefore, no matter whatever they do in the name of bhakti for long, or if they go on to the temple 10 times in a day, if they bath 5 times a day, wear 4 religious necklaces instead of 2, put 15 dots on their foreheads rather than 10, or whatever they do, no matter what they do, while the attitude does not go, purity does not come to them. Sri Krishna said that this 5,000 years ago. Srimad Adi Shankaracharya said that 1200 years ago. Madhusudan Saraswati said this 450 years ago. And now many great commentators have said this, and that this attitude still has not gone from society today. Let us make a prayer to God that God made this attitude go away from us, at least so that we stop criticizing. Lord, let us at least do this. Therefore, Lord, at least we will stop despising you. The word abhya suyaka is translated as malicious. These people are malicious, as is evident from them comments on the virtues of righteous people. These people are malicious people. We go on to verse 19.